There are some fancy ways to get distracted. Quite fancy, quite not the usual traditional way we all know. So I'm going to be sharing some of those with you right now. So I've got them prepared for you here so you can know when you're being distracted and you can say, I always said that this is a form of distraction. Welcome. Distraction is a real thing, and you can be so ambitious yet so distracted. And distraction is not just because people just think about distraction from the point of view of wasting your time and all of that. Not necessarily, but there are some sort of fancy ways to get distracted. Quite fancy, quite not the usual traditional way we all know. So I'm going to be sharing some of those with you right now. So I've got them prepared for you here so you can know when you're being distracted and you can say, I always said that this is a form of distraction. If you're new to this channel, I am Bukola. I'm a Big Four audit manager here in the UK. I'm a career mentor and an inspirational speaker, and I create these fantastic videos so that you can learn from them and apply them at work and see your life and career transform. Okay, so join me. So one of the ways you can get distracted is having so many goals at the same time. It is good to have those nice and fancy goals, but having too much of them at the same time is a huge distraction. So you must learn to streamline. So get into the habit of streamlining and also get into the habit of creating seasons for yourself. So the month of April and May can be a season where you are trying to get a particular certification. So you focus your time April, May to read, to grind, to get to a point where you're ready to pass that exam. It is key. So in that moment when you're doing that, you are pretty much not doing anything else. You're pretty much not doing anything else. All your focus is on that exam. Now, it doesn't mean that if something comes up, you don't respond to it. But in the grand scheme of things, you're streamlining, you're doing one goal per season. Now, I mean, depending on how long the season is, some seasons last as long as 2 years. But if you've got a season, so in my own case, for instance, exactly this time last year, I had a season between April and August, where the only thing that mattered to me was my CFA level 3 exam. It was that or nothing. I was ready. I just needed to pass my exam. And everything else was a distraction, and I knew it. Everything else was a distraction. And that led me to focus on, okay, what can I do? At work, doing extra work, taking on extra things is not the right time. I knew it. So I blocked my calendar every single day from 6 p.m. I wrote it clearly on my calendar. I'm preparing for the CFA exam. I will not be able to take no meetings, and I will not be able to do office work from 6 p.m. every single day. And everybody respected that. And I didn't have any issues. Everybody respected that because what? I was focused. And I clearly communicated it to my teams, and it was quite there on the calendar in case anybody was moving or trying to move to get me to do anything post my normal working hours. Okay? So it is important that you do the same. Now, if you don't have a clear plan for every single day, you'll be wasting a lot of time if you don't have a clear plan for every single day. So I need you to use your calendar. Use your calendar. I'm a big fan of using your calendar. Get into the habit of using your calendar. If you schedule the things that you need to do, there is a high chance that you will do it. Okay? If you have no idea what your rate per hour is, you'll be wasting your time. You know why? Because if you don't know the value of something, there is a high chance that you will not see that thing as important because you don't know the value. Okay, so take your rate, determine what your rate per hour is, determine it. Now, practically, your rate per hour You can determine it from probably like how much you're being paid at work. If you drill it down to what the rate is per hour. So for instance, taking your gross pay for a full year and dividing that by the number of working days in a year, and then streamlining that into your working hours, you probably get to that what that rate is. Once you get that rate, multiply it by 10. That is your true value per hour. So take that rate and say, okay, this is my rate per hour. What I am doing right now, this social media scrolling I am doing right now, does it justify? Is it worth this amount? Let's say your rate per hour is £1,000 per hour. Scrolling through TikTok, not from a creator perspective, but from a consumer perspective. And it's not as if you're scrolling for anything. You're not looking for anything in particular. Is it worth £1,000? What I'm doing right now? So that is key. Okay. Now, when you spend your time wishing and hoping you are like other people, instead of actually sitting down to do the work that will get you to where those people are, you're wasting your time and you're being distracted. So you want to be the next, wherever you want to be. I want to be the next Tony Robbins. I want to be the next Oprah. I want to be the next whoever it is. I want to be the next Dangote. I want to be the next Otedola. I want to be the next whatever that is. But what are you doing? You're just wishing and hoping. All wishes, all hopes. Instead of actually sitting down and saying, okay, these people, when they were like me, when they were like at 22 years old, at 30 years old, at 18 years old, at 25, at 27, what could they be doing? And most of these guys that you look up to, they have assets, they have interviews they've granted, they've talked about their lives, they have books they've written. Most people you look forward to, if most people you look up to, if you have someone you look up to and you have not read their book, you're distracted. You are distracted. So you are looking up to somebody. You want to be like them, but you don't know anything about them. How does that work? Tell me, give me the maths. Give me the maths. How does that work? So, anyways, don't wish to be like someone. Know what they were doing when they were exactly in your shoes right now and start doing those things. Okay? Now, you care so much about balance and not so much about the cost of your ambition. Now, this is just basically, the conversation of work-life balance, life-life balance, work-work balance. If you're still having that conversation, personally, this is my opinion. You have not started. There's nothing. I don't believe in balance because I don't think that it's a thing. Because you can't. How? It depends. There are situations in your life where, in that moment, your family is number one because of what's in that moment. Everybody will say, "My family is always number one. My family is always number one." It's because you need to do an audit, really, about what you do with your time, other than your family. Like, what do you do? How do you contribute? What do you have a business? Do you have a personal brand? Do you have a way of feeling fulfilled? That's why some people, when their family then turn their backs against them, that is the end. Because for 40 years, 30 something years, all they thought about was their family. They don't have anything that fulfills them outside of their immediate family. This is important. So all those people are like, my family is always number one. And I'm not saying your family shouldn't be number one. I am just telling you, reality, you need to be number one. What fulfills you, and pursue what fulfills you. It is important. And then, in some cases, sometimes in chasing your business and chasing your brand, your family may be suffering on some days. Some days when you are not meeting your kids' bedtime. There are days in my work life when I don't meet my kids' bedtime because I've traveled for work, or I'm around but I couldn't get off work early enough to meet them, and it is okay. So if you're still talking about balance, you need to check how fulfilled you are as a person. Some days it is family, 100%. Some days it may be your brand. You may have to travel for speaking engagements. You may have to, many things. Many things. So think about it. So you're getting confused You're getting confused. And if your career is all that it is, that you love your career so much, you want to be the best at it, you want to rise to the very top of your career, you will find yourself in situations where your career will be, in some seasons, your career will be number one. Sometimes you feel the mom guilt, you feel the dad guilt. It is okay. Because your family will enjoy it as well when the money comes in, when everything comes through, and then you're able to afford a better life for your family. It is okay. All right? Now, you are eager to move with the crowd and do just about everything that is trending, instead of you to nail one thing and build expertise in that one thing. Is that you? I need you to choose one thing, one path you want to follow. Drill down, build expertise in that one thing. Build expertise in that one thing. And see if people will not be calling. Because once they think about something, it's you they're calling. Now, I was watching a reel of a lady who makes a particular type of food. As in that, the food this lady makes is so niche. It's a Nigerian cuisine. It's a Nigerian food. It is so niche. I didn't think that someone will niche so down. Is that just one thing that this lady makes? Just that one thing. But this lady, in the biggest celebrity events and all of that, you always see her there. Because she's not saying, oh, I cook everything, I do everything. Is it jollof rice you are there? Is it fried rice you are there? Pick one. One. And then drill down into it and see how you can serve it better. That is how people get, because, for instance, people will do many kinds of food. You have to work extra hard to separate yourself from other people who do many things. And most people will say they do many things. There is a lot of power. There is a lot of benefit, and there is a lot of advantage in niching down. You need to get to that point where you niche down and say, this is who I am. This is all I am. As long as you're talking about career coaching, career mentoring, or like synonyms, that's it. I don't do life coaching. I don't do career. Alright, it has to be like synonymous. Just get, that is it. I don't do anything else. I don't want to do anything else. I want to build depth in that one thing. And sure, every single organization that wants to have their staff trained, have them motivated and inspired to continue to deliver results. Alright. So you need, don't be jumping. Oh, everybody's doing data today. Everybody's doing project management tomorrow. Everybody is doing this. I don't care about that. I only know what I know and what I do. So I need you to get to that point as well. Okay? You would rather work tons of hours that nobody cares about on something because you find it easy to do. So because you find something easy to do, you continue to work on it. Hours, because it's easy for you to do. Instead of that one thing that you're doing, thinking about, there is a hard aspect of this thing that I need to focus on and learn that skill. It is key that you do that, 100%. Don't just do the easy things. Do the hard things as well, because that is going to make you. Okay? Now, if you're the type that you only come alive when there are so many activities, and you don't care so much about the proportion of those activities that lead to actual results. So you just want to do, I'm here, I'm there, at work, you are not in one place, you are everywhere. You are the one that will volunteer for this, volunteer for this, volunteer for that, and you have like 200 things on your plate, and none is getting done. You're chipping away at your reputation. None. Once you volunteer again, you say, oh, don't give it to her, because the ones that we've given to her are not seeing anything. Okay? So it is important that you think really long and hard about your reputation when it comes to that. Okay? Now, you prefer performative actors. You prefer those who are performing for you. instead of those building legacy. People come and lie to you. That's what you like. You like people who will show you their beautiful homes. It is interesting. They will show you fine things. That's what you like. I want to be like this person. So it will now put you into a depressive state. You're wasting your time. Because it's only those people who know what they did before they got there. Just recently, a couple, very top creators, a couple came out to say how much they were paying as the lease for their mansion for social media. I think they said they were paying $45,000 per month. As least, if you are watching their content, and I've seen their content a couple of times. I have seen their content a couple of times on Instagram, but I don't get moved by that. I didn't even know that was what it was until they now eventually bought their own mansion that they now came out to tell us what they were doing. They were taking big risks. Do you have $45,000 to pay? Do you have it? So when you're looking at people performing for you, be careful, because you will not spend time be analyzing your life. If only my parents were rich, you are wasting your time. So be careful with the people that you are following and you want to be like. Be careful, so that you don't throw yourself into a depressive state. You don't want to do that. So think long and hard about those who you know there's substance, and at the same time when you watch their content, they're not making you feel like you don't feel up to it. They are instead empowering you. Those are the people building lasting legacies that you should be following, because I don't want you to be distracted. Okay? You at the slightest pain, you throw in the towel. You are tired, you give up. If everybody gave up like that, if everybody gave up at the slightest pain, we wouldn't have aeroplanes. We wouldn't have buildings, ginormous buildings constructed by amazing people. Like, we wouldn't have the technology we have right now. If people threw in the towel at the slightest pain, you can't throw in the towel at the slightest pain. You need to see things through. You need to build for the future. You need to create your own mark. You need to make your own impact. Because once you do something, you come across a small problem, you throw in the towel, you go to another one, you throw in the towel, you go to another one, you throw in the towel. At what point do you want to start building something that is meaningful? Okay? And the last thing when it comes to being distracted is you being a serial consumer. Your work is to consume content, consume help, but you are not giving anything in return. You have to join the givers. You have to join the creators. And by creator, I don't mean content creating only. I mean, even at work, you need to join those who create value. You can say, oh, that report, bring it. Let me see if I can add more insights. Let me see if I can update this. Let me see if I can do this. Oh, we used this template last time. Can't we do this to it? Join the givers of value. Okay? I know that you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed creating it. Now, if you did enjoy this video, make sure that you subscribe to this channel. You like, you share, and you leave me some good comments. Okay? I want to read your comments. But beyond that, if you feel like you need further help, I'm a career coach. If you need further help, you want to get into my program, there's an 8-week program I'm launching really soon. You want to get into that, please reach out to me, send me a DM, whatever that is, I'll respond to you. Make sure you're also following me on all social media platforms. And you can also click the link in the description box to see how you can work with me for the future. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.